Hey, it's your girl Kalation. I am back with another episode of my podcast. I don't want to ramble too much before I get into this, but I just launched a Patreon, and that's what I'm really focusing on right now. My Patreon is mainly going to be, weight loss things. Definitely mainly not mainly weight loss. It's just gonna be like my day-to-day. I'm not really big on posting my business and posting my personal life and my inner feelings on social media, so I put it behind a paywall just because I don't want people that don't really care about me that don't really care about me and don't really like me to be all in, stuff that I'm saying. That's just personally how I feel. So I put my Patreon, it's gonna be $3 a month, monthly service. I didn't want it to be too high, and Patreon recommend don't go no lower than $3. I don't know if you could put it lower than $3, but that's just what it is. I don't feel like that's too crazy. If you can't afford it, then you can't afford it, and I understand that if you don't want to subscribe. But if you want to talk to me on a daily, you can talk to me, message me. I'm answering everything back on Patreon. I'm going to be posting like all day on my day-to-day. Like, I don't have no subscribers. I launched it day before yesterday, and I just been posting. And that's what I will do. I'm going to do, I'm going to weigh myself every day on there, show y'all pictures of the scale. Body pics if y'all want to go, things that I'm going through, things that I'm doing, all that is going to be posted on there. Y'all can message me, comment back to me, talk to me. I want it to just be a community of people that support me. So, and I want to support y'all also. So love y'all, and check out my Patreon. It should be in the link below. If y'all are listening on Apple or Anchor or Spotify, go to my Instagram, thug.nasty, or to this podcast video on YouTube, and it should be in the comments. Or go to my link tree on my Instagram, that's my link, and just click on Patreon and subscribe. It's $3 a month, that's it. Not going no higher than that, not being nothing crazy, because I'm not trying to rob y'all. Anyways, I know some people be having their Patreon for about $20 a month. I'm like, y'all got me messed up. Y'all think I'm about to pay $20 a month for Patreon. $10 even be pushing it. So $3 a month, I think that's a good steady price. Whatever. All that aside, getting on into this episode. Okay, so this is actually the second topic I'm talking about, but I just decided that I'm gonna flip it and make it the first topic of this video. So just in case the video is seem out of order, that's the reason why. Let me get into which I didn't do the first half of this podcast, let me get into the song of the week. And my song of the week right now is How Many Drinks by Miguel. I just love, something about that song really just do it for me. I just love How Many Drinks. Like, ooh, look at my hair right here, child. How Many Drinks for me is just, that's my little song, that's my little jam. I bop out to How Many Drinks. Getting on into the topic, which is the next topic, but it's gonna be the first one in this video, podcast. Relationship goals. Relationship goals are a scam. When was that? 2014, 2015, when it was popular, relationship goals? Man, everybody and their mama was posting relationship goals. The YouTubers, the Instagrammers, the little, what the videos was, Vine, everybody loved their relationship goals. Instagram, everybody, if you got a cute picture with your man, you was getting followers. And then, even though after 2 months y'all broke up, y'all pictures would still be circulating all over the internet with the caption, let's see what's a good caption. When you find a love of your life, you stick with them. They hold you down forever. When in actuality, you using that sweet little picture when the people in the pictures beat each other up and cheated on each other the whole time. A relationship only lasted for 2.5 months. But relationship goals, quote, if y'all not watching the video version. Relationship goals are a scam. So many of these people are broken up by now. Like, how, oh my goodness, everybody, De'Ara and Ken. Now, I love me some De'Ara. I watch De'Ara now. I didn't watch De'Ara and Ken because they just always felt a little weird to me. They wasn't my type of YouTubers to watch, but now look all the things that came out. De'Ara covering for Ken, all the many times he cheated on her getting on his nerves, them not necessarily being happy the whole time they was together, where they come on camera with them big, nice, happy smiles, beautiful, nice pictures. We going on these amazing, lavish trips together. We pranking each other with the same pranks every month, every few weeks, every day, every other day. We got a brand new prank that's getting millions of views, that's clearly staged. But and everybody, oh, relationship goals, and behind the scenes they hate each other. I'm not saying Arent and Ken hated each other, but a lot of people did. Look at Chris and Queen. Man, Chris and Queen. You know how Chris and Queen breakup shook YouTube and Instagram? Everybody was going crazy when Chris and Queen broke up. You know, everybody like, oh my goodness, they were such a perfect couple. Relationship goals. They were married. They had their son CJ. Beautiful family. You know, they were young. They came from the same hometown. Went to school together. It's just an amazing couple. And the whole time, Chris was cheating, abusive. Queen was whatever, doing her thing. Who knows? Behind the scenes, nothing perfect, nothing even notable about the relationship. Nothing that nobody should be wanting or vouching to be, besides their little fame that they got off of social media from being together. Other than that, the relationship was terrible. They hated each other behind the scenes. Chris been saying that he been asking for a divorce for how long? Who knows how long? Queen was miserable, and they doing it the whole time just for social media. Like they stand together for y'all. So many couples, I feel like the Ace family. No shade to them. I don't really watch them like that at all. They not my type of channel. But man, when you look at videos of Catherine, she look miserable. When you look at videos of Austin, he looks at Catherine like he hates her. And they just keep on having babies, using the babies for content, and a lot of it is greed. They stay together. People post them all the time. Oh my goodness, I wish I had a relationship like them. They have the picture perfect relationship. They are hashtag relationship goals. Ain't that was the Arent Ken little slogan, relationship goals? And I mean, now look at them, they not together, which is no shade that they not together, but they wasn't even really happy behind the scenes. So you see so many people like on Instagram, they posting a perfect, what's that lady I was watching? So I never knew who she was. I don't know her name, but I watched the documentary on her. You know how YouTubers do like their documentaries and they break down. She was like a public speaker, and she was writing books and everything, like how to have the perfect marriage, how to keep spice in your marriage, how to be happy in your marriage. Her and her husband pictures was like smiling, the same fake smiles in every picture that like the same fake smiles, and the whole time they had a miserable marriage. The husband came out and exposed, and they got a divorce 2 years after she was doing all that, writing the books. Oh my goodness, that's my husband. How to keep your husband, how to make sure you, how to have the perfect marriage, which who even has a perfect marriage? How to never fuss or argue with your spouse. What couple doesn't argue? Now, if you arguing all the time, you don't need to be together. But what couple doesn't argue every once in a while? And that's the narrative and things that they were pushing. And everybody was like, oh, I aspire to be like you, like feeling down and out about themselves, because they wasn't hashtag relationship goals. They wasn't the perfect couple. But, you know, everybody on social media, they get on to see these couples making videos together, pranking each other, jumping on each other back, happy, lovingly, and they put the camera on. Let's take a selfie. They take their selfie, happy, smiling, and then get the F away from me. Let me go to my other house with my 32 side chicks. Let me go on vacation with my other man. See you next week when we record this other video. B. All the time they hate each other. So yeah, relationship goals is a scam. A lot of the relationship goals was just, they was doing it, like I said, for money. They was doing it because they know that their whole brand was being in a relationship, because besides that relationship, who really cares about what you're doing? It's either you and that person, or who really even cares what you're doing. And I see a lot of people that made it out of that, like Queen. But Queen, honestly, is still doing a hashtag relationship goals. Even though I like her music, Queen jumped out of one relationship, jumped right into another relationship. Chris just been either doing stupid stuff and getting arrested, or continuously putting different women on his channels, because he know that it's a big profit and a big marketing hashtag relationship goals. People love seeing happy couples, even though behind the scenes it's really a scam. They really hate each other. They doing it for sponsorships, they're doing it for all these views, and people like, oh my goodness, like I wish I had a perfect relationship like them. Oh man, it's so great. And the whole time they're not happy. Like, they hate themselves, they hate their relationship, and they hate their supporters, because they hate that they built their support system off of being in a relationship with a person that they didn't really know that much, didn't really care that much about, but now they stuck with them because they know that the minute they separate, nobody go kill no more. How many YouTube couples that was so popular in 2015, 2016, a few made it out. A few still together. A lot of them broke up and nobody knows none of them no more. Nobody care about them no more. You know, relationship goals really was I just don't know what to say about it besides it was a scam. You know, so a lot of them was greedy. You know, they had kids just for money, just so people could be like, oh my goodness, the cute little kids, so they could get even more sponsorships, so they could get even more views. A lot of them, you know, it's just a fake union. A fake union, just so people could eat it up. And y'all eat it up. Y'all did exactly what they wanted y'all to do. Y'all was put it in their hands. So 2017, after I graduated, I started posting skits on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I want to do a YouTube channel, stuff like that I was talking about. And they had this man, he was also a small skit channel, but he would make music too, and he was like, let's start a fake beef. I probably still got the DMs. It was like years ago though, like 5 years ago. He was like, let's start a fake beef and we both could gain from this. Just like what couple channels do, they start their fake arguments. Oh, I broke up, we're never getting back together, stuff like that. I'm sorry, making noise, but we're never getting back together, and then 5 seconds later they back together, because the whole time they really didn't break up. Honestly, a lot of the time behind the scenes they don't even really be together. But so he was like, let's start a fake beef, and we both will gain from this. So we did a little fake beef. It didn't really go nowhere. Few people was coming at me, few people was coming at him, you know. We was making posts about each other. Deleted it like not long after, because you know, it wasn't that big of a deal to me, like it wasn't that serious. So after that, the same person came approaching me, and he was like, man, let's where you're from. I don't think he was from too far away from where I was from. He was like, man, let's do a fake couple. Like, let's be a fake couple on YouTube. Let's prank each other. Let's do this, do that. And I was like, hell, I'm down. That's at the time when couple channels was popping, you know. And that's a person that I didn't even know. So imagine how many of these people was together like, oh, let's make a fake couple channel, or just get together and be like, oh, you see all this money that they making off of YouTube? Because freaking 2016 and stuff like that, man, YouTubers was balling. They was like, oh, I can say, I mean, I just know they was like, oh, come on, let's make a couple channel. And you know, they did what they did, got their little followers, made some videos, broke up, and then went into Never Land, because we don't know where they at no more. We don't know them. Sometimes they come as a faint memory. I wonder what happened to these people, and don't remember them no more. CJ So Cool, another one. I lost respect for royalty when I saw that video of her that came out when she was pregnant with her kids or whatever, when CJ was cheating on her, and all those receipts came out when he had posted his video. Oh, that girl's lying, she crazy, I don't know her. And royalty came out and told the truth, and she was like, yeah, but I'm the queen of this castle. Me and CJ built this, and ain't no woman coming move up in here and live and do da 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 in my palace, because I'm the queen of my castle. And it was like, okay, so taking all the cheating while you're pregnant, like literally he was, oh, she's pregnant and sleeping, she don't care nothing about me, telling a girl to come sleep with him in his car in a garage while she is in a house a few feet away, you know. And they still posting like, oh, their relationship goals, they the perfect relationship, they happy, even though they come out with their faults now. still so many people be like, man, I want that CJ and royalty, when you really don't want to. Like, royalty had a video not long ago where she was breaking up with him. She went live and she was like, break it down. She was like, I'm tired of this. She was like, you know, and you could tell about CJ So Cool, I don't want to bash him or whatever, but you could tell that he's the type of person that, oh, I built all of this, I'm the one that, you know, made all of this, da 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 da. People was bashing him because him and royalty came up together. You know, like he said, he did a story time, you know, about how he really didn't have nothing and he was dependent on royalty when they first got together. So I guess, you know, they was together for a while, their relationship has ran its course, but he see that his brand is being that family friendly fun channel that's just flashy and showing all kind of stuff, and he need those kids for his brand. So, you know, it's kind of like they stuck in a cycle. I don't feel like they happy or really even want to be together, but they're together because it's about financial gain, and they're stuck in a cycle of royalties like, what I'm gonna do without him. He like, you know, this is my brand, my people want to see this, and they're just together, and people are still posting them like, oh, their relationship goals, they're the perfect couple. Oh my goodness, I want CJ. Oh my goodness, I want royalty. We could be this perfect YouTube channel and come up together, this YouTube couple. Like, I still see people like, oh, let's be a YouTube couple, which YouTube couples are played out, but people still eat that up and people still love that, you know. So that was just my point. This was a short one, you know, but that was just my point, that relationship goals are a scam. Stop looking too much into other people's relationships, and, you know, really look into your own, because a lot of these relationships be fake. You thinking that you and your man relationship not significant because y'all not like them, not happy 24/7, going on lavish trips and vacations, and the whole time they go on a vacation and they stand in separate rooms because they hate each other, you know. So, well, the first topic is going to be why a lot of women, because I'm a woman, I'm gonna say it from a women's perspective, why a lot of young women don't really care to get married. Now, I'm not saying that we don't ever want to get married, but I am saying that we don't really care to get married at the moment. Like, I see so many people like say like, oh, you know, people, young girls used to want to get married, like that used to be their goal. Why isn't y'all goal to get married no more? And I just genuinely feel like we shouldn't be pushed to get married if we're not ready. I feel like back in the day, they got married to have a husband. Like, it was a different world back then, you know. Women didn't have all the rights we have now. Women weren't going to school and pursuing their own careers as much as we are now. Like, it was so taboo. Like, oh, if you, like, you're 25 and not married, what are you doing with your life? And now, you know, we have so many people that are 25 just getting out of college, finding themselves in life, and they don't want to just jump into something just to get married. Like, you know, and we shouldn't pressure ourselves to get married young. You know, I always think about how, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone a little bit because I wrote down some points so I don't jump off topic, because I realize I'll be jumping off topic too much during these podcasts. But something about, I don't want to tell my mama business, but my mama was married one time. She was like, what, 28 when she got married, and she married this man after like 2 months of knowing him. And I was like, you know, why did you go marry him or whatever? And she was like, oh, I just wanted to get married before I was 30. She was like, you know how they look to not be married before you're 30? She was like, I wanted to at least be married before I'm 30. And I was looking at her like, what's the point of that? Like, so just because of what other people think, oh, you 30 years old and still not married yet, so what? Like, a lot of people in their marriages are miserable. It don't matter if they got married young or old. So just because it may look a certain type of way to other people, that don't mean that you should go run and do it. And my mama marriage was nothing great. He was a real religious man. He wasn't that bad, but it was like so crazy. He was like, when I say religion, he was like strict. He was Christian, but we couldn't listen to no music besides gospel music, y'all. We couldn't watch Hannah Montana because they had the devil music on church every Wednesday and Sunday, which I didn't have a problem with. Their church was nice. It was kind of fun or whatever, but he was so strict that certain things, like if the show said one cuss word, we couldn't watch it. And it's like, damn, like, what can we watch besides Disney Channel that don't have at least one cuss word in it? And we couldn't watch Wizards of Waverly Place because that was witchcraft, and we couldn't watch Hannah Montana because of the singing. My little sisters couldn't watch Yo Gabba Gabba because of all that music in it. And it was just like crazy. that, you know, it was just a crazy situation. Like, we jumped in and merged as a family so fast, and it was really just because my mama just wanted to be married, like and you know, he was a religious man, so you know, they couldn't do whatever they wanted to do till they got married. None of my business, that part. But I just feel like maybe she could have saved her time. Like, maybe I feel like that marriage was a waste of time. Maybe it taught her something, so I shouldn't say that. But what if she didn't just really jump into that marriage? Who knows if at that point she was gonna come across her soulmate or something like that. You just never know. So jumping into a marriage just because of what people may think about you, or placing value on a woman but by her marital status, is stupid, you know. So, you know, days have progressed, time has progressed, and us, we don't care about that. Like, when I see people that's getting married at 25, I'm like, oh, that young. And it's no shade. If you got married young, if you love that person, that's something that you showed that you wanted to do, I respect that, you know. But if you just jumped in to get married just to get married, or just because that's what that person wanted you to do, or your family wanted you to do, I think that that's kind of stupid, you know. Marriage is something serious, and people like take it like, oh, whatever, you can just get a divorce. I take marriage as something serious, and just get married just to get married, or oh, I don't know, it's just, it's not that big of a deal to me to rush into a marriage until, you know, you're truly ready. Like, I feel like I appreciate so many women wanting to build foundations for themselves. You know, it's not back in the day where you get married at a young age. You know, back in the day, girls was getting married at 14 and having kids because women wasn't working and stuff like that. Now, as women, we have to work. All these many days, oh, women, y'all just depending on men. Well, that was the standard back in the day. The standard was for a man to hold the fort down and be the head of the household. So many women realized and struggled after, like, say, so many women, we've experienced women years and years and years of being married, like women that have been married for like 20, 30 years, and their husband leave them on something like that, finally, after the husband cheating and treating them bad all these years, finally leaving, and they don't know how to do nothing for themselves. They don't know how to pay bills. They don't know nothing about finances. And that's why it's so important that we learn that for ourselves. So we should have our own. I feel like it's so important for women. Nothing is wrong with housewives. I be seeing so many women on TikTok, and they be like, oh, they're a stay-at-home mom and stuff like that, and people be dogging them and stuff like that. If that's what they want to do in life, then that's fine. I feel like that's a goal for some people, and it could be a goal for you, but just be smart about it. But, you know, like I was saying about the women, like, their husbands will leave them, or they will finally leave their husband after they was tired of being, you know, some women even abused or whatever, and they don't know nothing for nothing. They don't have nothing in their name. They don't have nothing for themselves. Some women signed prenups, left marriages with pennies, like older seasons of Housewives and Basketball Wives. You see so many women that's left with nothing after depending on a man for so long, you know. And I feel like us, our generation, and the generation before us also, we realized that, you know, you could do it on your own. Do you necessarily want to do it on your own? Like, they dog single mothers. Single mothers raise kids on their own, but that just shows that they can do it on their own. Is it easy? No. Is it always the best? No, because children need their fathers or their other parents, because they do have some single fathers. I don't want to just single out mothers, but, you know, depending on marriage is taboo. Like, nah, it's like that was 100 years ago when women was dependent on marriage. Now you're not dependent on no man, because at the end of the day, if that man want to leave you and take everything that he built with you, he can, and you're gonna be sitting there looking dumb. How someone could say stuck as F, like, just, you know, with nothing. So I appreciate that women are waiting until they build the foundation for themselves to get married. Now, it's great to have a partnership and build up with a person, but at the same time, I feel like you should ground yourself before getting in a serious relationship, a serious marriage, because you just never know. A person could be the sweetest person in the world to you, and after 10 years of being with them, they could be the most evil person and want to see you down and out with nothing. So I feel like it's important. My great grandmother always told me, she was like, it don't matter if a man is paying all your bills and taking care of you, don't be stupid. She was like, put money to the side, make sure that you're secure just in case anything happens. Don't look for the bad to happen, but just be smart and know that it can happen. So I feel like so many women are building that for themselves, to where they, regardless of, okay, I'm going into this with good intentions, like, oh, I want to get married, but they waiting until they have a good foundation for themselves before jumping into a marriage. So, and you know, it's nothing wrong with people wanting to experience life. I see so many people like, I don't want to settle down and just be with one person yet. If I'm 23, 24, me being 23, I want to get married. No shade, but I mean, I can't see myself right now just settling down and being with one person for the rest of my life. And nothing is wrong with that. I don't feel like we should be shamed for that, look down on that. Oh, you just want a thought and bop. You can say what you want, but dedicating the rest of your life, God, like praying that I'm 23, like it will be a blessing for me to live another 60 years, 60 to 70 more years, like just a blessing, you know. And you know, experiencing that, you know how many changes that people make in life. Like a person at 23, I feel like I changed so much just in the past few years for me being 18 and 23. So 23, going through those years in life, and then I feel like these years are so prominent. You're really learning who you are. You're finding out who you're, discovering yourself or whatever. 30s too. 30s seem, people like, oh, 30, like 30 is old. Man, 30-year-olds are still discovering themselves. And you know, people want to kind of find out who they are before settling down with somebody, because you just never know. Maybe when you and that person were in your 20s, y'all were a perfect match. But who knows, when y'all maybe in y'all 40s, y'all done evolved into completely different people. Maybe you want to learn yourself and learn that person before you fully settle down and devote yourself to that. And that's why I feel like it's fine that we don't necessarily want to push ourselves to get married, but does that make us bad? Does that make us less than the women that decided to get married at 25? I see people that graduated after me. This girl is 21 years old and she just got married. Great for her. That's amazing, bro. But you know, somebody that she went to school with, knew all her life, they got married, whatever, that's fine. But to me, and it's not for everybody, because man, maybe that could be the love of her life, the person that she's meant to be with, the person that she's meant to be with forever, that she's meant to have kids with, meant to have a life with. But at the same time, some people like me, I'm like, man, I never even seen the world. I never lived nowhere outside of Louisiana. I don't know what people they have. I don't know what people I'm meeting or what people I'm coming across. And I want to meet people. I want to see things before I decide that, okay, this is ultimately what I want to do in my life. This is ultimately the decision that I want to get married. And I'm not saying that marriage is just final, because there is divorce, but I do think that it is important for us to discover and, you know, do things and see the world before we just decide to jump in a marriage. No shade, but you know, regardless, so many women are working on becoming entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, you know, and I see that so much all over. Like, oh, y'all, I don't like cussing on her, but y'all hoes don't want to, well, I don't really cuss at all, to be honest. Every once in a while if I get too mad, but I see some men say sometimes, oh, y'all hoes don't want to get married, y'all ain't wifey material, y'all just want to thought and bop and go on trips, da da da. Maybe we want to experience life. Maybe, you know, a lot of people are working hard towards their careers, and man, if I want to mess with more than one man in my life, then that's my right. This is not the 1920s. This is the 2020s. Time has evolved. Am I saying it's right? No, but am I saying that? But I just genuinely, I don't like to put all my family business out there, but my great grandmother Barbara, I should have never said her name. I said her name. It's already out there. She was with my grandfather. You know, my grandfather did what he had to do, pay the bills in the house, whatever. But he was not that great of a husband. He would cheat on her, treat her bad. I'm not saying that he did all the time. Rest in peace, great grandfather. I never met him. He died before I was born. He had got killed. No, I lied. Let me stop that. No, he didn't get killed. He passed away, I think, like a heart attack or something like that. My uncle, his son, got killed. But he passed away before I was born. But you know, my grandmother never remarried, and if you ask her, she was like, I didn't want to. She was like, I'm peaceful now. Like, it's like, I don't know if that was just so much for her that she just didn't want to remarry or what, but you know, that was back in the days where you was a wife, you take care of the kids. My grandmother always worked, but like she said, he paid all the bills. But like she said, she put money to the side. She even said it was a time because the type of job he had, you know how some type of jobs, like all field jobs or whatever, if the all field not good, jobs are really out at a certain point and you could get laid off. And that's what she said. She always told me, she said, you know, he was making a lot of money. He was paying all the bills, paying bills for his other women too. But she was like, you know, I worked, saved up all my money. She's like, that's why I'm not dogging him, saying that he's a bad person fully. She was like, but you know, he was out of work for over a year at a point, and she said I was holding it down because all of his money, he was paying the bills and blowing the rest. She said my little money that I was making, she said, went nowhere near close to him. She said, but I was making my little money and putting it in the account on the side. And that woman did what she had to do. That's why, you know, I genuinely respect that. But she did stay in a marriage for a long time that she wasn't happy in either. So, you know, times are different now. We're not staying in marriages just for a man to take care of us anymore. We're not staying in marriages just because that's the thing to do. You don't get divorced. You know, black old people from back in the day, black people, oh, you don't get a divorce. You stay married. You work it out. You know, times have changed. So I just don't feel like women should settle. Women should... I'm not going to say what women should do, but that's why I feel like so many women are waiting, and that marriage is not the goal for a lot of people right now. Not saying that it's not the goal forever, like they just never want to get married. I know some people that never want to get married, but I'm one of the people that's like, I don't care if I don't get married until I'm 45. I would like to be married in my 30s, but if it takes time, it takes time, and I'm not going to rush it just because, oh, I'm not a woman, I'm a less of a woman, but if I don't get married, no man is going to want to settle with me or whatever. That's just like, oh, people see that, you know, no man is wanting to settle with me because I'm not married. I just feel like, you know, who cares? And I feel like a lot of us are looking at it like that, like, who cares? Like, our value as women don't come from being married. You know, we're not accepting, which let me not say we, because a lot of women are back to accepting bare minimum, but a lot of us don't want to accept bare minimum. A lot of us don't want to accept just, okay, we find somebody, fall in love with them, and just hurry up and marry them. No, we want to understand who you are and see, you know. And a lot of times now, we're not just jumping into a marriage because we have, you know, assets too now. We're not coming in empty-handed. So I'm not about to jump in on marriage when I got all my assets. We're gonna have to we both could have a little prenup, you know, do what we gotta do. So, you know, I feel like it is important to build a foundation for yourself, you know, work up yourself before, you know, heading towards marriage. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing right now. Oh, even if they just in a party phase, like, oh, I'm 25, I want to party, I want to have fun before I settle down. Nothing is wrong with that, you know. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are deciding to do too. Like, let me get all this partying and fun out, so when I'm fully ready, oops, I'm sorry, I messed with that thing. When I'm fully ready and when I finally meet my person, you know, I'm gonna be grounded with them. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I've been married since I was 20, I didn't get out the house, I've only been, it's just me and my husband. You know, so many people have midlife crisis and it's only been them, their family, their whole life, and they didn't really discover themselves, and now they in their 40s and 50s and marriage is falling apart because they finally ready to discover themselves and find out who they really are as a person without being tied down to other people. So that was it for this episode. I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. This one not gonna be as long as the other ones, but yeah, send me some topics for next week, and make sure that y'all subscribe to my Patreon. I want to ask questions on my answer questions on my podcast. I'll let y'all, you know, put y'all little 2 cents in or whatever, you know. Hit me up on Patreon. Like I said, subscribe. It's $3 a month. I didn't want it to be expensive on it like that. You know, my day-to-day, my everything, weight loss, whatever y'all want, you know, hit me up for it. But I don't really like putting my business and my life fully on social media. This is the YouTube and stuff is as far as I go. So you know, I'm really get deep and personal with y'all on my Patreon, because I already have been and I just got it. So y'all can see my day-to-day, y'all can talk to me, ask me questions, you know, everything. So yeah, subscribe to that. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, like, comment, watch my podcast on Spotify, Anchor, and Apple. And yeah, love y'all, and see y'all in my next video, and see y'all next week for the next podcast episode. Bye.
Stay